Hey everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Best of 3 Call of Duty Esports Podcast. Guys, oh my word, another event is in the books.
Wow.
CDL Chicago, obviously. We're now 2 events into the online era of the Call of Duty League for the next few months ahead. And it was a wild one, to say the least. A lot of unexpected. It was really, really hard to predict.
Yeah.
And it was a fun time. But first, before we talk about anything else, guys, I've got to ask, what is going on?
Josh, let me tell you. Have you ever played the game Pokemon?
Can't say
Picture
I
this.
have.
I am a score bunny, and I feel like the fire inside me, because the Empire coming out so hot, is making me evolve. And I just feel this power surging through me.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
You got the Empire and the Surge puns in there.
Pokemon.
Sam, how are you doing?
Good.
You have to translate what just happened there for me. I truly have no idea.
Basically, he's feeling amazing right now.
Oh.
Layman's terms.
It
He's
makes
feeling
so
great.
much more sense now. Thanks,
Yeah,
dude.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that. But man, guys, like I said, crazy weekend and tons of news. Some juicy drama in the Call of Duty community that went down late last night. Parasite found himself in the mix. We got a lot to talk about today. But before we get anything else, of course, you guys can find us on Twitter. Myself, SalvationsElite to my right is Bash_Bo3. And ShadyNero to our farthest right, of course, Rex. And of course, you can listen on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave a review, of course, on Apple Podcasts. We will read it.
We're still
on
waiting.
the next episode.
We're still waiting.
Please review it.
Please review
it. We need to have somebody so we can review it. We have no reviews.
If you leave a review, it's probably going to get on.
It's probably going to be read. At this point,
Get in
it's
there.
going to be read.
No, but we appreciate all the feedback. We actually do have some great reviews we have read in the past.
Yeah.
But man, also a little Fantasy League update for those of you who participated in the Fantasy League this weekend. We had a full 100 teams that signed up really quick, so appreciate all you guys for signing up and filling the league real quick. If you guys didn't know, we did do a community league on Draft Buff to have some fun with that. And shout out to Caused for winning the tournament or winning the event. He had a fire squad of Arcitys, Dashy, Shotzzy, Attach, ILLeY, and Blast.
Shotzzy and ILLeY.
Wow.
He
doubled down with Shotzzy and
Dang.
ILLeY. Dashy had a good event for himself.
props to you for picking both of those guys, because I
He
would have
believed-
never
and
picked him.
Attach. I mean,
Yeah. Wow.
that was a ballsy
Yeah,
pick based
Attach
off
was
what
a
we've
good
seen.
pick.
Jeez.
Yep. So a lot went down there. Yeah. So that was really fun. I actually had a blast doing that, and I can't wait to be doing more. We will be doing. Hopefully, every single event will be doing that from here on out, because I think it's a fun thing to do with the community and
That's a good
engage with
idea.
y'all. So my team sucked. I banked on Atlanta FaZe, and statistically, they did not put up the stats. Obviously, Simp had his few good maps, but didn't
Real
get it
good
done for
maps.
me. Didn't get it done for me. But let's move on to the juice,
Man.
the news,
The news.
segment.
So
into the
many
news.
News.
My goodness. So this all started with the Challengers Open bracket this weekend. It was a fun open bracket, of course. Another one in the books. And guess
Singularity.
what? Guess who?
Guess who won?
Guess who won? Singularity. Once again, man, they've had their stint in the United States here to just prove their dominance, and they sure have. Singularity came out firing on all cylinders once again. They took down Parasite's team
They did.
in the grand finals. And again, top squads here were Singularity won. Parasite's team with, again, that was at the time, Glow Frosty, Awakening, Spoof, Zaptius. UIU was in third. Team Garb, which was TCM's team, was in fourth. And then fit top 6 was Jintroid's team, Stamino. And then Rise's squad, Gunshi and Rise's squad, Carnage Gaming, top 6. So again, like we keep saying, it's basically the same names at the top once again.
Yeah.
Where's Fellow's team in that list?
Ooh, did he even get top 8?
Exotic's team was top 16. Fellow was also top 16.
Fellow's top 16.
Yep.
Oh.
That was the Nagafin, Dave Petey, Standy, Royalty Fellow squad. They were top 16 as well.
I want them to come back. I like all those players. I like Nagafen Fellows definitely, and I want them to come back to the Pro League.
Theory found its way to the top 16. You'll love to see that. Shout out Theory.
Yeah,
TK.
Yeah, sure.
Man, FaZe Academy, top top 32.
Oh man, I didn't even notice. I missed that.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, wow.
both FaZe and Rokkr Academy.
Top 32.
Wow.
Top
So
32.
down event for FaZe then
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, so anyway, that doesn't even. I mean, that was interesting, of course. The results were interesting.
Great
But
event from Parasite.
It got really interesting for Parasite. So, he was trying to get those W's in the tournament, but he found a massive L. All right, let's just say that. He found just one big L. So, if you guys aren't aware, which at this point, I don't know how you wouldn't be, the amount of tweets, like, absurd. The amount of tweets.
It's
Trending.
ridiculous.
But basically, long story short,
Trending too.
Parasite's DMs were leaked that he sent during the tournament to Zaptius's supposed girl.
Oof.
Basically saying, you're hot.
You're fine.
You're fine. And it got leaked. So he was, trying to slide in those DMs during the tournament. Didn't work out for him, and he got dropped.
So, do you think he knew that he was dating Zaptius? Is Zaptius his teammate?
To assume.
You would have to assume he knew,
Is Zaptius his teammate, right?
but it is kind of a from
Yes.
from like what I've heard, it seems like maybe like the dating wasn't like as like
Public?
It wasn't like this boyfriend girlfriend. Maybe it was like they just started talking. But bro code, you don't do that.
I mean, like, if you even think that's possible,
Yeah.
like, bro, he's your teammate.
Yeah.
And, like, you guys are winning.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
Very very strange. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna
Like,
say
I
on that.
mean, who
So-
knows how serious that relationship between Zaptius and that girl were? I mean, maybe it was like one of those things where like flirting with each other, but they actually were never official. Then Parasite, I don't know, maybe was trying to be skeevy and slide in, but
like,
not that that's any better. But it's just,
Just a
I don't know.
very-
Anyways, it has nothing to do with COD, and like
Yeah.
I feel like it shouldn't affect
Well,
his
it does
career. I think it's
it
I don't
affects
think it
his
should.
career because how they reacted to it.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
well,
inherently it affects
honestly,
his
he
career.
should have been like he should have been way more casual about it. At least,
Yeah.
like, dude's like, yep, my bad. I'll hold the L on that one, and literally forget about it. Move on with your life.
Because
Yeah, it was more the fact that it happened like during the. It
Yeah.
was during the tournament. Like, yo, it's like round 11. Oh, thank God we won that. Oh, yo, hey, hey, what's up? How
He
you doing?
should have made it humorous somehow. Like I just don't. I
yeah.
don't like. He just makes it so serious.
yeah,
Then if you think it's serious, then everyone else starts thinking it's serious too, and it's just like,
yeah,
bro,
obviously
you gotta
like
relax.
Zaptius was, he's probably red hot, firing on cylinders, wanted him off the team. But in the long run, this is gonna blow over, and Parasite is still a good player, and I think he's gonna be
It'll be
picked up again.
interesting to see what happens
Yeah.
with this team when they replace him.
Yeah.
Um.
Jintroid, right, is the replacement.
Yes, Jintroid was announced
Yeah.
as a replacement already. So that's interesting. I mean, he's one of the players on Stamino, Jintroid have been playing together.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where Parasite goes. We'll definitely
Yeah.
keep you guys updated on that one. We'll probably find out by next week.
I would assume so, but
But
just
yeah, so we'll be following that. That makes the challengers, even more
interesting.
juicy and
Yes.
interesting moving forward, which
does.
is, hey, some drama in the AM scene.
You know what I really hope for with that? I hope Parasite gets on another team. I hope Zaptius's team and his team go against each other, like in the later rounds for like either like champ grand finals. Why not?
Yeah.
And Parasite's team just destroys them. Like I want Parasite to win really bad. I know how evil that sounds, but I
and
really
then he gets
do.
the girl.
Oh, wow,
And then,
be
then Zaptius's girl like sends him a
Yo.
tweet like,
he just
hey,
flipped the
all it
switch.
says is "Hey Parasite"
Flip,
or like "Hey
flip.
at Parasite" or something because like
Yeah, like
Flirting
if they
with
meme
them.
it, that'd be hilarious. That'd be really, really funny.
Oh, how
I'm
the
about it. But I mean, like,
turntables.
that was the
and
thing.
then Parasite
Lacefield,
gets picked up on a team,
like
and then everyone
Lace,
forgets about Zaptius.
Lacefield
I'm
jumped
so
all
evil.
over it, and
Yeah.
like Hook made a TikTok about it, which already has like over
Very
10,000
fast.
likes today. Yeah, like so Lacefield like changed his name on Twitter to Parasite and like changed his profile picture. It was like meme tweeting Parasite, and
Yeah.
he was like mini trending on like United States,
He
like over like
was.
3,000 tweets over him. Yeah, Haggy was tweeting
Haggy was-
or trending last
But
night.
what a
Trending.
terrible thing to do to him! I feel like it's
No,
just
yeah.
like
Like to be fair,
why
in
would
the
you
big picture of
why
like,
would you throw it out in like social media
Yeah.
realm like that, especially with, like you're risking his whole career like and everything for that?
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
in the big picture of like cheating scandal tier list, it's pretty down. Like,
Yeah, like
it was just like
Like
a
how
it was a
it was
flirtatious,
an ill-timed.
yes,
It was an ill-timed. DM.
ill-timed flirtatious DM. Which
yeah,
again,
but like how not confident in your relationship are you that threatens you? Like, all right, sorry.
Relationship advice with Rex.
Yeah, I'm like, we're about to go way off topic here. But seriously,
turn on
why do you
turn on
freak out
different
so
music
much
here.
about that? It's
No,
like,
yeah, it's actually whack. It's rough for Parasite. Again, it got blown out of proportion. He shouldn't have done it, but it gets blown out of proportion, and now he's off the team and has to find a new squad in the middle of the season. I'm sure he'll find one because he has like the most pro points in like or top
NA,
top
I
5.
think.
I'd have to check that list again, but he's definitely top 5 in pro points NA. So that'll be really interesting. I mean, again, Singularity, we talked about it last week. They're insane, and they continue to be the best AM team by a mile.
Online or LAN, doesn't matter.
Maybe in the future we can talk about like ranking some of the AM players and like trying to do like a AM player
kind of cool
list and see what we can go off that or something. That'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, let's move on to the meat of this podcast, obviously. So we're doing power rankings and just reacting as a whole to CDL Chicago. So first we'll be just doing like talking about the basics, the biggest surprises, MVPs, and all that discussion, and go from there. And then we'll do the power rankings. So CDL Chicago, guys.
Man, crazy.
Man, there's a lot of storylines. So I mean, of course, you've got like the FaZe role change storyline. You've got the OpTic disappointment storyline. You've got the Empire showing up after their disappointing performance last week's storyline. You've got the Huntsmen coming back from their role change, still not looking good.
Man.
You got the Surge, Search and Destroy, beating FaZe. Like, there's so many things going on here. In your opinion, what was the biggest surprise of the whole weekend, Rex?
the biggest surprise.
I'll go first.
I mean, yeah, you go first.
Subliners, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where
actually.
did they come from? Holy crap!
Yeah.
New York.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I was like, what? Oh, yeah. But I mean,
Wow, that's unexpected. That's not much of a Rex joke. That's usually a joke I would
It's
make.
not. It's really not.
That's a joke I would make.
I like to keep you guys on your toes sometimes.
But yeah, no, Subliners just, I mean, they beat Huntsman. They take FaZe to a game 5, and then they play Huntsman again, and I think Huntsman, what, 3-1?
3-1 them.
3-1 them, but still,
But
like,
it was competitive.
it was competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Temp, Zuma, and Attach showed up.
Attach.
I think we're finally seeing what like they should have been.
Well, the potential we all thought was there from the beginning.
Exactly.
Was this a one-off thing?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's the question. But I don't know because like
But they played Huntsman. They played FaZe.
Yeah.
That's all we saw them play, and they
Yeah.
looked good.
And like
They did look good.
the thing is like that is where I thought they would have been at the end of the year. So like I feel like that's not because that is where we know Attach and Temp and Zuma can play.
Can play as.
So I personally don't think this is one off, but I could be wrong, obviously. But maybe Mac Melts this transition for this team is what they needed.
Yeah, I mean,
But he wasn't even like
yeah,
that.
statistically he wasn't that dominant.
No,
Yeah.
but it could have provided Attach, Zuma, and Temp these
The right
opportunities, these roles that
Yeah.
they weren't able to with Zero on their team. So I don't know. I thought that was one thing I did not expect. I thought Huntsman had an easy dub. First round against Subliners, and then we're going to see a
Yeah, I
FaZe
think we all
Huntsman,
did.
and then nope.
Somehow
Sheesh.
we still don't have
Still
a
don't
FaZe
have-
Huntsman. But
Yeah.
the biggest surprise of the whole tournament, I think to your guys' point there, was the 100-point club of FaZe on Petro. They 250
It was-
84, 250 to 84.
It was ridiculous.
What? Like, how? What? How does that even happen?
Yeah, yeah, and I know we're probably gonna get we know it's online, right? But this is where we're at. You know, things can happen, but still, you can't deny that Subliners showed up, and FaZe were in the grand final. So it's not like they bowed out early. So I don't think you can use online as an excuse here.
Yeah.
For them 100-point clubbing FaZe.
Yeah,
I think they just played amazingly.
I guess we'll talk more about them when we power rank them, but I'm feeling pretty good about the roster moving forward. Rex, so you kind of agree with Sam there, but do you have any other surprise?
I think the Surge, I mean, they actually made it to the grand, like to the I don't know,
a
championship
single
bracket.
limb.
Yeah, the single limb bracket, which that was impressive in and of itself. They actually
even
were
though
able to
even though
pull
it was
some
2
wins
wins
out.
against LAG,
Yeah, but they still got there. And
They
they still
did.
actually
Hey,
won.
props.
They did.
So winning is not, normal for them.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I still don't know about that roster. I feel like Enable's honestly going to end up coming back. I don't think Pander's the move.
Well, he almost did come back at the
He
beginning
did.
of the tournament
He almost did.
because of the apathy power outage. He literally tweeted like, "I'm back, baby," and then apathy got his power back, and then he made it there in time.
Oh, that could have been
Yeah.
amazing.
Speaking of apathy, he had a huge turnaround.
Yes, yeah, I think to your Seattle Surge point as well. Like the other biggest surprise of the tournament was finally they won a Search and Destroy against FaZe.
They did.
It's like FaZe was showing some vulnerability. They lost to Search and Destroy round 11 to Surge on Petro, and then they get a 100-point club on Petro by New York.
Subliners, yeah.
So interesting to say the least. But yeah, apathy. He looked great. He got like they talked about on the stream, like the dad powers.
Yeah.
They finally hit.
Yeah.
But apathy looked great after his horrible tournament from before. So I think I agree with both of those surprises to say for sure. I mean, honestly, the biggest surprise was that OpTic didn't beat LAG in the losers elimination match.
Oh,
Yeah, but
man.
looking back at it, I mean, I don't know. OpTic has not been winning. They haven't been.
Just unfortunate, man.
They looked decent against Empire.
They did. I thought they were going to come back. I thought OpTic was going to make it to the single elim bracket, and then they just decided to lose twice and be out.
But did we just see a one-off Empire being?
Empire won the whole thing. They've won 2 tournaments so far.
I'm talking about last tournament where they did not perform.
Oh yeah, it's probably just the internet chalk up. But like with OpTic, so like in that Empire match, I mean it was at least competitive, like 175, 250. Then they beat them 6-1 on Arcloth. Then they lost by 5 on Hackney Dom. Then they put up 208 on Hackney Hardpoint and lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a close series. I'm like, okay, well they're definitely gonna beat LA Guerillas. If Seattle beat LA Guerillas, and then they lose, and I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
Here's the thing: LA Guerillas is not good at respawn, and if you lose to them on respawn, like you're not doing well as a team. I feel like.
Yeah, and that's just what makes no sense. Like,
and
it's crazy because like maybe you thought, okay, well maybe the LA Guerillas were just off in the first series against Seattle. Now they're gonna come back and beat them. Nope, Seattle 3-1 them again.
Mm-hmm.
And like now you're like, well, what in the world? Like, how in the world did LA? Because LA Guerillas 6-1 OpTic on Ramaz's search, and then they kind of smoked them on Hackney Hardpoint, and they beat them in the close one on Gunrunner Hardpoint. Like, what in the world?
I don't like.
Mind blowing.
I feel like it's one of those things where you're seeing a team where their potential is so high, but they're so inconsistently
I know.
You see them perform against Empire, but then they can just tank versus LAG. It's just like, what is happening? And I think that kind of goes into a discussion regarding, I think these players are kind of over this year.
Well, yes, that was the thing.
Personalities do not mix. Like it's just like the team chemistry on that is just like it just isn't there. They're talented players minus JCap, and it just isn't there.
I love it.
That's a subtle dig. I like that how you just kind of slid that one in there. But yeah, no, they were tweeting as if they're just pissed. I mean, Slasher was talking about how they were lagging in their series, so maybe that was a problem. Like, for whatever reason, he said like
they're playing at LAG, so it's like I don't know.
Like his tweet was like, "This is just unacceptable. When does the next Black Ops game release? Got to mark my calendar." And Tej was like, "Don't even know anymore. This just makes me not even want to play."
Which is deleted now.
He deleted it.
No. But
which is probably, I mean, his bosses are like, bro,
I know.
Come on.
And then I think, didn't Dashy also have something where he just didn't even know what to say anymore or something like that?
Yeah, so they are ultra tilted right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they are so tilted. I mean, it's hard to imagine a world where, like, with this roster at this point, that they turn this thing around. I mean, we've seen who they are now.
I know.
I thought that these last 3 tournaments, maybe online was like a new start for them.
Yeah.
But I think the online came at the worst time for them because they finally played decent at LA on LAN, and then online hit, and then T's just so over it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dude. So yeah, well, I think we can talk again. We'll talk more about them during the power rankings. But biggest player surprises. You already said Apathy. Does anybody else come to mind for you? Like when it comes to like a biggest player surprise?
I think I mentioned when talking about Subliners, obviously Attach was incredible. He was put up numbers.
Yeah,
it's also crazy too. Like FOMO had a better event, but not very good. But he was
statistically he was the best on the Huntsman.
He was the best on the Huntsman, but the Huntsmen all around are just
meh.
So it's not saying much for Formal, but definitely better than last event. Trying to think of anyone else that was just going. I mean, Simp broke his record. He broke a record and then broke it again. Correct.
That was crazy. Yeah. So he had a 49 kill record. Because Octane had it, then Simp broke it with 49, and then Simp broke his own 49 record with 50, which is unreal.
It's wild. 50 kills on a hardpoint. I mean, that's ridiculous. No, I don't know if anyone else was like super great. Well, Shotzzy was
Shotzzy was
phenomenal.
Really good.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would probably have to be my biggest player surprise was how great Shotzzy was so much. I mean, again, we've been waiting. I guess we can talk about Empire. We've been waiting for this moment. And like we thought, okay, well, they moved online. Now's the time. But they won the LAN event. They won LA. Like this, it's all coming together for them at this point.
Definitely.
And I guess the first question is, okay, what do you guys think? Does their seemingly dominant performance now, like, is this more translated to them growing as a team just because of time and practice? Or is how much do you attribute it to online versus like actually getting better as a squad?
I attribute it more, I think, on Shotzzy's part, comfortability with the team, and like they finally have been. It's hard to like they've been through hills and valleys together now. And so they're able to have that comfortability with each other, which builds that chemistry. And also they had the slight role change, I think, with Shotzzy going to more of a Slayer role and ILLeY going to OBJ. But Shotzzy just found himself.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting for ILLeY, honestly. I feel like ILLeY can still pull bigger numbers than what he's been doing.
I agree.
Like he's been good. He goes consistently even. But he's one of those people, I'm expecting him to pull Shotzzy numbers, like, him to be better than that. But with his new role, maybe as OBJ, maybe it's just like, this is not possible. But I just feel like he's better than what he's been showing so far.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think, like, Empire doesn't win by, like, putting up numbers. They don't need to outslay you by 50 kills as a team to win, They're totally fine by outslaying you by 10 and then playing better hardpoint than you,
Yeah.
And so I think we've been seeing a lot of that with Empire, and like, this event was finally the first time we were like, wow, okay, somebody on their team put up like a 1.2. You're like, okay, that now and then it makes sense. Like that's how you win. Like before, like when they won LA, it was by no means some like blowout performance here.
Yeah.
It was very much close matches, like 1 KDs and good team search or good team COD. But this time around,
Chemistry.
I mean, it was Shotzzy.
Yeah.
Shotzzy was the Slayer they needed, and they finally have their guy that if he keeps doing that, they are going to be hard to stop.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get even better because I am expecting ILLeY to get better. I honestly can see Huke even improving more. Crimsix is, he is Crimsix. He does what he does. Clayster has been inconsistent, kind of. He either does bad or does really well. But I feel like they still have they're still going up. Like this isn't even the end for them.
Yeah. I was just going to say on the whole, like online thing, whatever, like I think it's hard to deny, like that's what made Dallas so scary. It was like they won an event when ILLeY and Shotzzy were not playing very well.
And then it went to online.
And like they're playing amazing. So I saw like a bunch of tweets like Dallas online, like even though it's meme, there's a lot of angry people still saying like this is a fluke, but I don't see how you can say that knowing that they have won a LAN event when those two were not performing well.
Right.
And now you're seeing them be comfortable And I agree, Rex. I think ILLeY can be way better. Like this team is like, when you think about it, it's kind of scary. Like they may have a higher ceiling than FaZe, maybe. I know it's blasphemy, but no, I think I think we're seeing Shotzzy and ILLeY coming into themselves. It was bound to happen.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that.
I mean, that's the thing. Like I was trying to say, like at CDL LA, it felt like they got lucky. Like they didn't have to play FaZe in the finals. They played the Rokkr, and Rokkr knocked out FaZe and whatnot. It felt like the matchups worked in their favor there. Where like this time around, it felt like they were just dominant and in control the whole tournament. Like I was never worried about them blowing it or whatever, Whereas like at LA, I was like I didn't have that confidence. Now it's like you can see the upside, and I just agree with you. I think Empire, no sneak peeks, but they're going to be number 1 in my power rankings.
Well, and like,
didn't hear it here.
And like we were even talking beforehand, like during that Huntsman series, you never thought the Huntsmen were like
going to come back,
could win. Like Dallas controlled that entire series, and like as a Huntsman fan, I'm sure people were like,
it's demoralizing.
Crap. Yeah, it's like wow,
it's got to be demoralizing.
Like these guys are amazing, and honestly, I feel like if that match was played on land, that would have been the same result.
I mean, Rex, the Empire broke their Huntsman curse. They did it. Like this is what you were talking about.
I was talking about. Like once it happens, it's gonna be like I think it's gonna stay that way.
Like the dam is bursted now. Like
it's just the floodgates are open.
Yeah, the floodgates are open, bro.
Yeah, now they're just gonna fly. I think.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
They're gonna drown out the Huntsman, man. That's what's really interesting to me. I'm gonna be really, really excited to see how they perform. I feel like they're gonna be the type of team that's like motivated by success too. Like, in my opinion, Clayster's the type of guy like he rides with that momentum. When they're playing well, he doesn't want to get off the game. He wants to keep playing.
Yeah.
And
then Crim wants the most championships still.
And Crim there's still something there with Scump. I mean, those interviews, by the way,
were amazing.
Legendary. Like
amazing interviews.
Legendary. I was laughing the whole time, dude. Like just dying laughing.
Just calling out all the Scump informal shrine.
Yeah,
all your fans.
And then Rich was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go grab mine." Yeah, I'm like, dude, so good, so good. Like I tweeted, I'm like, "Yo, if I just could get like a Crim and Rich just show, I would pay for that."
That'd be amazing.
Those were amazing. I wish more players would embrace the interviews like Crim does, because that's what makes CoD Esports, in my opinion, like the potential for CoD Esports to be more entertaining than anybody else is the players and the personalities. Crim showed that one off for sure. But production wise for the event, we'll definitely talk more about these teams again. Yeah. Production wise for the event, what are your thoughts? Like, did you notice any changes from last event? Any improvements, or like where were you at with the whole online experience for competitive CoD at this point, Rex?
I mean, honestly, it felt pretty much the same to me. It's a lot of in between time that I really don't like. They might have minimized the death stuff a little bit more.
I think they did.
Yeah.
So that was nice, I think, in my opinion. But I mean, I very much I just want to, especially since we're doing online now. It's like I want to go to next game. Like I'm trying to get through them. The little interviews I think are nice, but
I honestly think they should up the amount of interviews.
Isn't my favorite.
Like they should do like a pre-match interview with like maybe a team from. They should do like 2 interviews
with a
coach.
Something. Do a pre-match interview with a coach. I want to see more coach stuff. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Like that'd be really interesting. I think, and they're
pre-match
available
interview
to
with
do
the coaches before they go into a match or something. Like that would because I think that would be really fun.
That limits the amount of times you have to toss it to like the analysts and the casters and ads. Yeah, and again, I think there were less ads this time for sure. Less ads this time, but I don't say more of your thoughts.
The only the really rough part that I noticed, I think like Friday went like really smoothly. I think like the games were kind of flowing nicely, but the only part that was like really like rough was going in trying to get into grand finals. It was like a 45 minute. It was like 45 minutes of just constant like desk and then throwing it to ads. It was just like, what am I watching? Like I saw the Dragon commercial like 10 times. I saw like
Dragons.
I saw like 4 different like player like profile things. And like they talked about each team.
They were whipping them all out.
I mean, it was like, oh my word. But other than that, audio issues are still there. I think that is a little frustrating. Like I think at this point they should have that nailed out.
Are they watching the stream and then like the stream's on a delay and that's what they're going off of?
There's just some type of audio issue with the production.
It's weird, yeah.
Because like they literally be sitting there, or sometimes they'll be having conversations with each other, just like on the desk for like a good 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then you'll like hear them.
Yeah, you just like hear them talking to each other.
Yeah,
and then they just go into it. You're like, we've been watching you for 2 minutes.
And all of a
sudden, they like straighten up and like go straight into this thing. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's rough. I really hope that would have been kind of ironed out by now. But
I'm a little surprised it's not.
The timing was improved, but there's still a lot to.
The audio issue is the most frustrating thing. Like, man, it's just like, why am I hearing the announcers before it happens, or why is the game audio ahead of the visual?
No, you know what annoys me when I love going to the team chats. But then during the team chats, you hear the casters talking.
Oh, yeah.
That happens every time.
Like, I love hearing the team chats, but then this caster talking, like, I can't make out anything anymore.
It's just jumbled noise. Like,
what is happening? Yeah, how does that happen?
I don't know. Like, you think that they like wait like 5 seconds after they're done with it, listening, but they like want to like try to like time it, but their timing is so off. It's
so
strange.
off.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Like, that's just really frustrating. But MVP of the tournament, real quick, I want to bring that there. Who is the MVP? Is it Shotzzy?
I think Shotzzy.
Is it Shotzzy?
It's got to be Shotzzy.
Got to be Shotzzy.
Yeah. I mean, makes sense.
Yeah.
He did drop like
1.29. I think.
Sheesh.
Which is like from like where he's been. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's been sitting
from
below
the
1.
First tournament when he was like garbage,
like a 0.7.
Yeah.
What he had a plus minus of 80 over throughout the tournament. That's crazy. Next highest on his team was 35 which was Clayster.
Yeah.
So
but we've been saying Shotzzy has that potential to finally come into himself and like be the investment that they were banking on.
Yeah, he's got a high ceiling. That's for dang sure.
Yep. You're that Halo blood.
It's the Halo, man.
Do you think it's just the LAN thing? Like he just doesn't know how to play a Call of Duty LAN?
Possible.
Like is that just
like?
Is he just like
you like
feel
think about
weird?
it too? Like playing a competitive game. Like like he was playing Halo 5 for a long time. He was in that mindset. I just think it just takes time just to like know where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to go.
And then when you add in 1,000 people watching you in person, and like where
like,
Halo's crowds were way smaller,
like that interview, like before, like his like London.
My gosh, the interview where he looked like an 11-year-old.
And like
I mean, I love Shotzzy.
I felt so bad for him because like the crowd was like, go back to Halo, and he was like, I was like, oh no. But
it looks like he got called to the principal's office.
I know, but I'm really happy for him that like I think people are starting to see now he actually has an enormous potential, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, no, for sure, I completely agree. So, oh boy, power.
So one part of the prophecy has finally come to fruition.
One part of the prophecy.
One part.
I mean, yeah, I guess before we get into power rankings, maybe any like final thoughts or opinions. Again, the power rankings are going to force us to talk about every single team, so we're going to probably go into it, but any other thoughts specific to like CDL Dallas or CDL Chicago's performance? Anything else? I guess like LAG was one team we haven't talked much about. LAG, I mean, they beat OpTic.
They did.
They beat OpTic in the losers rounds.
But is that saying anything?
Yeah, what does that even say anymore?
I don't know. I don't know what that means anymore. They feel like a bottom team that will probably be going through here in the power rankings, but.
The thing is, it's hard for me to say OpTic feels like a bottom team because, like, see all the players on it. They're all like championship players.
They're so good,
and they've made
every other team's like, this is a team that should do something.
Their skill is
like
amazing.
Bottom of the pack. You're like, what is happening here?
It's like frustrating because it's like that they could actually probably be a top 5-4 team.
Yeah,
and then. I don't know, man.
It's crazy.
That's their prophecy, is to be this good team, but like something's not working.
I like the prophecy route. I'm actually about that. Okay, so let's look at the standings real quick here. I have them pulled up here on the stream. So standings, I'll read them off for you guys who are listening or just listening as a whole. Basically, as you guys can see here, we got Dallas Empire at the top with 150 points. We got Chicago Huntsman with 130 in second. They both have 5 tournaments played. Atlanta has 120 points with 4 tournaments played. Rokkr, 4 tournaments played, 100 points. Mutineers, 5th, 4 tournaments played, 100 points. Paris Legion, 4 tournaments played, 60 points in 6th. Then we go London, Seattle, OpTic, Toronto, New York, LAG. London and Seattle have 40 points, and then the other 4 have 20 points. And Seattle has 5 tournaments played, and LA has 5 tournaments played. The rest have 4. So, just glancing at the standings before we get into the power rankings. Anything stand out? I mean, statistics wise, you look at like the maps, wins, everything else. Sam, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I was saying earlier, like Huntsman having 5 tournaments played and only being 10 points above FaZe and then 30 points above Mutineers and Rokkr, who all 3 only have 4 played. You know, I think that kind of shows where Huntsman is kind of failing right now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say failing, faltering maybe. But you know, FaZe, you got 85%. I'm guessing that's map win percentage, right?
Yeah, map wins.
So I mean, that's
that's nuts.
That's amazing.
Really
But then Dallas Empire is sitting up pretty strong.
So I'm sorry, let's cut you off right there.
That was it. So
so I guess to put some context in this for you guys. I mean, top 2 is where you want to be because you're getting buys. 3 and 4 is also great because then you're guaranteed
in
the playoffs. And then 5 through 8 is a play-in for the top 6.
Yeah.
So you want to be in the top 4. Obviously, there's a tier break there between Mutineers and Paris. You got a 40-point difference right now, which, you know, the most you can possibly get in one tournament is 50. Rex, what are you thinking when you're looking at this?
Subliners got a tough road ahead of them.
They do.
Yes.
They do.
Even if they play well.
That's
even
a good
if they
point.
play really well, I just don't. It's going to be really hard for them to even get into top 4.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like they need to win one at least. I feel like
Yeah, you'd have to win one, and that would get you like into like the top 6.
And then pretty much get like grand finals each time.
But like,
at least.
imagine if they win the next tournament. Even if they win the next one, like you still have FaZe, you'll have Rokkr, you have Mutineers getting points. Like you're still gonna be at least like 30 points back of most of them, 40 points back of most of them, and you're halfway through the season at that point, over halfway through the season at that point, the regular season. So it's a tough road ahead for any of those teams at 20 points. OpTic, Toronto, New York, Guerillas. Seattle's at 40, London's at 40, Paris at 60. So those teams are fighting for that 6th place spot.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because at the higher seed, that gives you a big advantage. Obviously, you just need to make sure you get inside the top 8. So, and ironically, that's the 20-point gap right now is the top 8. So London and Seattle are at 40, and then 9 is OpTic at 20. The rest of the teams are at 20. So that's what you got to look at there when we're considering our power rankings and moving forward, obviously. Again, before we get into the power rankings, schedule-wise for the rest of the season, we've got the Florida event up next, which is May 8th. And then we've got Seattle, Minnesota, Paris, New York, London, Toronto. So we are now, after Florida, we will be officially halfway through the league.
Yeah.
So that is kind of where we're at right now. And again, like the Minnesota points at the beginning of the year were kind of like free points for some teams that like, it's not that easy to get points if you're not an elite team right now. And so we're going to have to see a big turnaround from these guys moving forward. So with that said, let's get into power rankings now. All right, so here is the power rankings sheet here, as you guys can see. Basically, we're just going through
Number 1, I think I'm going to put Rodion.
You just go right into it.
Purely the helmet look works for him.
It's been a minute since you brought this up,
goggles,
so no wonder.
Honestly, the goggles, there's a certain quality of the goggles, like bring a good shape, like architecture to his
He just keeps going.
He does.
And I think it works for him.
We're getting eerily close to, we're like a month out from doing Hottest Operators.
We are.
Because we're still in quarantine here. So this is,
should be interesting.
This is, I mean, well, we're getting closer and closer. We already got one in the books. I mean, Rodion at 1 here, the power rankings.
I mean, that's where he is for me, tier 1. But that could change. New skins come out, things change. So we'll see. You know, it's an ever-changing thing. You know.
Yeah.
It definitely is an ever-changing. It's an ever-changing thing for sure.
Yes.
All right. I'll just not go in there and link that.
In the comments, guys, Hottest Operators. Thank you.
So let's start from the bottom here. Move our way up. Let's have the suspense.
Okay.
Okay. So let's we have little tiers here, as you guys can see on the screen. Just to give a little idea of where we're at with some of the tiers and all. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 5. And go from there. If you don't have to use all the tiers if you don't want to. If you want to have 3 tiers, you can. If you want to have 5, you can. So it's up to you. All right, bottom tiers here. Who is your guys' bottom team?
I'm saying OpTic.
Wow.
Really?
OpTic. Yeah. I mean, well, okay.
That's surprising. Man.
It's between OpTic and Toronto at this point.
That's
LAG
what-
beat OpTic. So I can't say LAG is worse than OpTic.
Gosh.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say OpTic. Which is so disappointing
That-
because Slasher, Dashy.
It's Toronto.
Oh, gosh, dude.
I think I got to go with Toronto also. I don't know why I hold out for OpTic.
I do. Your boys. Your boys.
They're not my boys, but like the names on that team,
Yeah.
even
There is
just
something to
4
be
of them
said.
should be able to
Yeah.
carry a little bit.
I agree with that.
Dashy, Kenny, I even think Slasher is being severely underrated. But it's just like isn't happening. So, but I don't know. I for some reason I keep them up there.
Yeah, we'll do team names. I'll do Ultra.
They're
All right,
too good of a team.
Oh gosh,
people
dude,
to not be
11.
better than them.
I don't want to put OpTic, bro.
For me,
It's
it's
I want to
so
put
Toronto.
weird.
LAG.
Yeah. So, for
You
me, it's
can't
Toronto.
put LAG there. You just can't.
I know they
Like,
just beat them, bro. I can't.
You can't,
it's
man.
so dumb. That's so dumb. I'll put the capital T to respect them.
why would you respect them? Like,
Oops, Ultra. That's what I meant to say.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I get it. You gotta put them like that, but like that sucks, dude. That really sucks.
it just feels weird. I'm almost reconsidering putting OpTic at the bottom because I think Ultra's been looking better. But
I mean,
it's
yeah.
just like it just would be like it's like I can't. Like it's just like weird to put them there just because of the names on that
Again,
team. Like, it
OpTic
just
was
doesn't make
complaining.
sense.
You know, Slash was complaining about the connection. Like maybe you could write off this tournament as a connection issue, and like move forward with it. But like, I don't know, man. Like just like Crim. I mean, hey, Dallas had connection issues last event, and then they won.
Yeah,
but
It feels like Guerillas should be the bottom for me, which is I don't know, but I can't say that. You know.
they're 10 for me.
yeah, I know that's the thing. Like Toronto, that's the problem. Again, that's why we're doing tiers here. So like you can put them in the same tier and like justify it that way. So we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not against having Paris at the bottom here. I honestly I could be convinced that Paris is the worst team right now based off how they performed the last online event. But I'm gonna put
Paris. Interesting.
I'll put Guerillas here as well, and then Paris at 9.
Really?
At 9, and I think they're all in the same tier here. So
Really?
You think? You think
Yeah.
Surge is better than Paris?
yeah, I do. They're all in the tier 4. I'm gonna have 4 tiers. I'm not gonna have 5.
It's how can you like Paris at least has shown a little more consistency with being better. Surge just had this one tournament just happen where they actually made it to the single alien
That's where I would
bracket.
kind of.
Maybe you could have a maybe.
That's
you
where I
could
would argue
justify
with you
it.
there. It was kind of like that. Kind of seems kind of weird, but
I
And
just
we haven't seen Paris play yet,
we saw him play last event.
right? But I don't know, man. I don't know.
I know it. It just all seems weird.
I inherently hold out more hope for Surge,
Yeah.
especially when Abezy's playing like how he seems to be playing lately.
It looks like Surge might be on the up, but I don't believe in Pander. I really don't. I think Pander they're gonna end up.
I think
having
I
to
do.
get rid of him.
What I
Really?
am interested to see is your London versus Surge. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
But the fact that you're putting them like Subliners just had this one tournament, and
Yeah.
you're giving them so much credit already.
I'm overreacting team wise on these things.
Overreacting.
Well, I don't know about overreacting, but I definitely have quote unquote recency bias.
Yes.
With these teams here, I'm banking on some of what we saw this tournament to move forward. I actually really like what I saw from Seattle and New York. So I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself. You guys haven't even put your ninth team here. Who's your ninth team?
I know. No, I do agree. Surge looked really good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, did Paris just have a bad event last?
Well,
I'm putting Surge. I'm going to do it. I'm putting Surge with an asterisk where I believe in them more than I believe in Paris.
I don't see an asterisk.
Surge. Frick, where is it? There it is. Yes, Surge for me. I could take some recency bias there, but that's what it is for me.
I think for me, I'm going to put Subliners.
Oh, very interesting. Okay, here's our first.
They had one good tournament. This last one is the only one that's looked good.
I know.
Huntsman.
They played really well. But no, but it could be an anomaly.
And look, Huntsman is on playing really bad lately too.
So
shout out anomaly.
What if Subliners come out next turn and just tank?
Do or die.
Would you
do or die?
Would you think?
I wouldn't be shocked. But.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
Subliners have to prove it to me. I'll have to say Subliners have to prove it to me more than just this last tournament.
Yeah. No. I respect that. So
fair point.
Now I'm considering London here. I'm considering New York, obviously, and Seattle. Those are kind of the three teams I'm looking at here now in the middle, which I think are probably all in the same tier for me.
Yeah.
Out of the worst of them, I think it's definitely the Surge. At 8, who do you guys have at 8? Because then now it comes down to me between London and New York here for 7 and 6.
I think Paris is here for me at 8.
Okay. So where are you guys at with tiers right now?
Yeah. So for me, I honestly think
you can just click the little format, but the little copy format button on the color, and it'll copy them over.
I honestly think my bottom 3 are in a tier.
Tier 5.
I don't know if I put Surge there. I think I might be using 5 tiers here. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I don't know how I can possibly justify OpTic below the Guerillas. I'll be honest. Somehow they lost to him. It does not make sense.
Yeah.
It does not make sense. So I'm doing this.
Oh my word! What do you?
I'm mind blown. Their loss, after how Guerillas played, is truly mind blowing, and so we're gonna do that.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I do this. I'll throw Guerillas in the same tier as OpTic if that makes you guys happier.
I can respect that a little bit more. OpTic just lost to him twice.
Well, not twice. They beat him in LA on LAN. I know this is online moving forward, but
yeah.
The problem is when both those teams are playing their best COD, OpTic is going to win that every single time. So that's my problem. Is where I'm at with it. I don't know how I can. It happened, and my mind's still trying to figure out. I probably need to go back and do a case study on what in the world just happened there.
Do you also consider their mindset though, moving forward too?
Yeah, OpTic's mindset is
Are they even going to care?
It's a good point
because can they even catch up at this point?
Because the Guerillas have a lot to prove still, and they're younger guys, and they need this so bad. OpTic set, that's the argument there. If I could put them in both the same line, I probably would. Yeah. But I'll just keep it here for now.
It's hard.
It's just
a hard choice.
The upside of OpTic, I'm gonna give them the edge every single time over the Guerillas.
Yeah.
And that is my stupid bias, and that's where all of y'all listeners out there, all of you out there, can roast me down below. But at the end of the day, the OpTic tiebreaker is there. Okay, guys, we're getting behind here. Yeah. Rex, 8.
This is a really hard one for me. I had to pick between Surge or Paris, and my heart is saying I want to put Paris here.
You want to put Paris here, or you want Paris to be higher?
I want Paris at 8, but
okay.
It hurts me almost because again, I feel like I'm almost doing recency bias with Surge.
Yeah.
But Surge made it to that single lane bracket, and
even though they beat the Guerillas twice, who are in the bottom tier, so it's it's hard to say.
But Paris, it's just for me. It's I feel like I haven't seen Paris. I just feel like
you just don't know who Paris is yet online.
I don't know who Paris is anymore. I
don't.
Who even are you?
Who's Paris?
I don't know you anymore.
Someone you used to know.
It's somebody I want to be so good, but it's they have that bias of I don't know any of those names on that team. They must suck.
I mean, again,
but they haven't
CDL
been
Dallas,
sucking.
Paris beat Surge.
Yeah.
They beat him 3-2. And then they lost to Huntsman, and then they lost to Rokkr. So,
Yeah.
you know, it was an unfair shake for them. So, like, maybe that's the argument there that you can make. And, like, I'd be okay with that as an argument.
I'm putting Surge at 8. I got to be consistent with the recency. Surge at 8.
Final answer. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Okay. So at 7, I guess I'll lead the way again here. I'm going to put London. I'm going to put London.
I think London is a good 7 spot.
Yeah. What? I think that makes a lot of sense to me.
Where are Subliners for you?
And I'm putting Subliners
I think
at 6.
Subliners
I'll
are
fill that
above
in right
London.
now.
I honestly think Subliners might be better.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You guys are so crazy.
London.
This was
one
so
crazy
tournament.
Here's the
where
thing,
Huntsman has been trash.
Here's the thing. London has time and time again fallen. They have yet to prove anything.
London
was in the same group as Subliners, and Subliners came out way stronger than London. So
they looked way better.
Obviously, yes, there was some recency bias, but man, you can't deny Subliners looked really good.
I really wanted to see the Subliners London match. I'm disappointed I didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see that, and I didn't get to see the FaZe Huntsman match. I was so excited for both those matches. I didn't get to see either of them.
Yeah.
So I feel like I learned so much less than I would have learned otherwise, which sucks. But yeah.
So,
okay. So
I'm putting Paris and Surge I'm putting Paris and Surge in their own
tier,
and then I'm going to put Subliners and London in their own tier.
Interesting. Okay. I love how we have team names for everybody except for Paris and London.
Asterisk. I might be adding it more to. Okay. Anyways. Yeah. Okay. I think we're ready for 5 then, right?
Okay. Yeah. So 5. Sam, take us away. Take
5.
Us away.
I am going to.
Now we got teams. We got the heavy hitters now.
Yeah.
We got the heavy hitters.
I might get some. I don't know. I might get some flack for this, but I'm putting Florida. I know they've won one and they've gotten grand finals.
They are a tough team to rank.
But they're just. But like we still don't.
But you look at the other teams left.
We still don't really know who Florida is either. Like.
Yeah, I agree.
Like with Pharaoh, they went online. Are they going to be that good? Just because I don't know.
We got this to this point right now where we have 5. We all have the same 5 teams remaining.
Yes.
Mutineers, Rokkr, FaZe, Huntsman, Empire, all remaining here. That was the reverse rankings of the current standings. So we're all sitting here. Rex, are you in the same boat, or you got the Mutineers a little bit higher? They just beat the Rokkr online.
I have Mutineers at 5.
Man, that is tough, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Huntsman. They beat the Rokkr.
I know. It's weird because they've done both.
Like,
but it still feels like it still feels weird.
It feels like it didn't happen.
It feels like
they haven't found themselves on. Like, it's just like something is
it felt
awkward.
fluky in some way or another, obviously. But like,
but like no discredit to them, they're still top 5. Like. That's incredible from like where we thought they were going to be was
a month ago.
A month ago,
we
like I thought they would be terrible. Yeah. But no, they pulled it around, and I think Havoc and Frosty are starting to become a little bit more consistent.
They did lose to the Ultra at the beginning of last tournament.
They did.
So you have to at least remember that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, then they went on to beat the Guerillas 3-1. Then they beat Toronto 3-1. Then they beat the Huntsman 3-1. Then they beat the Rokkr 3-1.
Yeah. So
that's a lot of 3-1s. Holy cow.
I think 5 would probably be the best. I don't know. But.
I mean, they're coming off a tournament where they just beat the Huntsman and the Rokkr. Like, that happened.
It did happen.
It happened. I mean, Rex, what are you at with it? You have them at 5, right? So
I have them at 5. Again, it just feels like something with that team. There's something awkward when they play. Like, it doesn't feel like a smooth game. Like, there's teams that you can watch. Like, FaZe, smooth. Empire feels smooth. Huntsman, not recently, hasn't been feeling so smooth, but even Rokkr feels a little bit more smoother than Mutineers. Mutineers, it seems very
I don't want to
messy.
Make enemies. I don't want to make enemies here.
You're going.
I really don't want to.
kind of grinding with the Mutineers chemistry. Something's not connecting fully. The wheel still turns, but there's a little grinding going on.
I want to hear who you guys put at 4 before I put my 5.
Yeah, 4 for me is Rokkr.
Really?
I have Huntsman.
I feel like the Huntsmen have to be either 4 or 5. I mean, they haven't looked good,
but they beat the Rokkr multiple times.
That's the argument. I mean, I do have OpTic above the Guerillas, as you could argue, like online league from here on out. Like maybe you should have the Guerillas higher. I get that. Like again, they're in the same tier. I just don't know with the Huntsman right now.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I can even go a step further. I'm putting Huntsman at 3.
Okay, yeah. I use the upside argument with the OpTic, so I'll use the upside argument with the Huntsman here. So I'll put the Huntsman at 4.
Yeah.
And I'll keep the Mutineers at 5.
Well, I mean, I thought about putting Huntsman there, but like I said, Mutineers seems something weird. Huntsman, they're still just talent strong.
You can't
maybe
count
they'll
on
figure it
Huntsman
out
to win.
Oh, interesting. Rex, you have London in their own tier 3.
I do have London in their own tier 3.
That's actually
London's
interesting.
always been on the cusp of greatness, but never quite there.
Yeah.
That's
That's
kind of
really
what that
interesting.
symbolizes.
For sure.
Parasite Subliners, they still have a little bit to work to get to great. London's always been looking at greatness, like they can taste it, but it's just like something they just can't connect with it. And that tier 2, tier 1's more like the greatness aspect.
Yeah, that's actually really, really tough. I honestly just don't know. Looking at the tiers right now, I'm honestly not sure how I'm going to do this. Because, like, it's hard for me to say the Huntsmen are on a different tier than the Mutineers. I don't think the Rokkr are on a different tier than the Mutineers. And maybe you could say the Empire and FaZe are in their own tier right now, but
that's kind of where I'm going.
Is that where Sam's going here? Okay,
going.
Rex, who do you have at 3?
I have Rokkr. No, I don't. Yes, I do. I have Rokkr.
Yeah.
I
think we might be lining up here.
I don't think you can put Rokkr above 3.
Which is crazy to me.
No, I agree.
Part of me is like, putting Rokkr there, a little scary choice, but they've proven themselves.
They are the only one that hasn't won out of the top 5 teams here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still a top 5 team.
Yeah.
Which proves consistency, at least.
Yeah.
Which means it's their time. Eventually coming up.
I think a consistently really good team outperforms someone who has just won once, but then is inconsistent.
The Huntsman, huh?
Yes.
So that's kind of.
But the Huntsman. Let me get.
That's pretty interesting. Looking at your rankings
yeah, exactly.
here.
That's what I was thinking.
The Huntsman. Okay, look. No. let's look at the actual standings here. Huntsmen are currently second with that. Florida are at 100. I don't think that Florida will come out with 130 CDL points with this next tournament.
Yeah.
And so that's where
But power rankings are insinuating, like, if there was a tournament with 12 teams next week, like, realistically, who would be your, without knowing matchups, who would be your ranking?
I'm not, like, maybe I should put asterisks at 3-4. I think Rokkr and Huntsman are, like, at the exact same spot.
A lot of asterisks here with Sam's rankings.
Yeah, Sam has a lot of asterisks.
I like formal, okay?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's hard for me to decide where I want to put these tiers here. So I think we all are going to have the same situation here. It's hard not to put the Empire at 1, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's how do you not put the Empire at 1 at this point?
I don't.
Oh no! Is there going to be there better be a massive asterisk if you were about to say what I think you're about to say here?
It's hard for me to confidently say Empire is the best team in this league. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they just won.
I know. They did.
They did just beat Huntsman.
I know.
And
Who was
they
your
looked
third-ranked
good
team.
winning. Empire looked good
No,
winning.
And they did just beat FaZe.
I'm
who's
not-
your first team.
I'm not saying that Empire. I'm saying Empire and FaZe are in their own league right now. That is clear.
Oh, interesting. Rex has
Not
Rokkr
me.
in the tier 1.
I got Rokkr in the tier 1.
What?
Yeah.
How could you say that?
It might be a little bit
That
of
is
a push,
so-
but
Actually,
Rokkr
I don't
has
think that's
been
crazy.
beating FaZe.
I think that is crazy.
Because Rokkr beat Empire last event.
Rokkr beat Empire. Rokkr is
But then you
not
have
someone to
Huntsman
be. You
repeatedly
can't take
beating
Rokkr
Rokkr.
lightly. You can't take
And
Rokkr lightly.
Empire.
Yeah.
Do they have a Rokkr? We always say Rokkr has still more to prove. Has still more to prove, but like they've been somewhat proving it. Once,
But again,
if they, and maybe it's a little early to put them in that tier 1. But if that
It's
this next
super early
tournament
to put
they
them-
win it, you have to put them in tier 1, right? So
I'm not against it. I mean, again, like if you think about it, like this from here on out, it's an online league, and that's just a straight up factor.
It is.
Like it has some effect in some way. And so like what we've seen the past 2 weeks has to be more relevant and more valid to our power rankings than what we've seen in the previous, events in February. I mean, the last LAN event was LA. That was at the end of February. So it's like, it's hard to put that much weight on those events when, you know, they were so long ago at this point. Versus like 2 online events we've seen in the past like 2 weeks.
Yeah, well,
So,
Huntsman got
FaZe-
obliterated by Empire.
So FaZe
this
has
last
only
event.
lost to Empire and Rokkr.
And Rokkr.
Empire.
It's tough, man.
Gosh. Yeah.
it's like putting together a puzzle, dude. It's rough.
I'm gonna do it just because of peer pressure. Because
You're putting. Oh, I thought you were gonna put Empire in a tier 1 of its own.
no, if we're like also kind of following the actual standings too,
Yeah.
the max. Well, if FaZe win this event, they're gonna have 5. They're gonna have 5 games played plus 170 CDL points.
Yeah. They'd be way ahead.
Maybe I should stick to myself and say FaZe is better. I
Yeah,
don't
again,
know.
So, I mean, yeah, looking forward to the next tournament, obviously. And when you look forward, it's weird because, like, the next tournament is without Empire, without Huntsman.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got Rokkr, you got FaZe there. And it sets up for an interesting tournament because you got FaZe, you got Rokkr. You got FaZe versus Legion, London versus OpTic, Subliners versus Ultra, and Rokkr versus Florida. So, it'll set up for some pretty weird matchups moving forward and potential outcomes.
Somebody's going to first place. I mean, FaZe, Rokkr, Mutineers, any of them get first, they're going to be tied for number 1.
Yeah.
Or FaZe will surpass number 1 if they win it.
Yeah, so that's actually really interesting for the power when it comes to standings. But
I just changed mine, by the way.
Oh my word, he did it! Wow.
I don't know.
But
There's a lot
Empire's
of recency
not there.
bias.
You can't go off like if FaZe wins this
I have no problem
because
The
Empire's
Rokkr,
not even there to compete with them.
I kind of want to put the Rokkr in tier 1. I'm kind of with Rex here.
How? I just don't understand that. Rokkr is a fantastic team, but to say they're that like
They're the only
consistently,
team to beat FaZe, who's your number 1 team
I know, but like,
until the Empire.
but
And they
they've
beat
also been
Empire.
beaten by a lot. Like,
That's- I mean-
they beat the Empire last in LA, which you seem to be taking quite a bit of stock in.
no, I'm taking stock in everything. Like,
I mean, I get that.
you guys are taking a lot of stock in the most recent.
Yeah,
online.
I'm definitely the most recent
Yeah,
stock. I take the
Yeah.
most stock in the last 2 tournaments. I'm heavily weighting the last 2
I
tournaments.
just like. Can you confidently say that Rokkr is an above tier of Huntsman?
I don't know.
I
no.
think
That's the hard thing to say. Like,
it's very recency
I
thing,
understand
but
that
I
Huntsman.
honestly, in a
with
lot of
all
ways, just
the
want to put them all
news-
5 in one tier.
with all the news that's come out with Huntsman and how they played so incredibly bad for
Yeah, I
what
know.
they should be that it was like, well, this is not just an overnight fix issue. Like they're not going to just come back tomorrow
Yeah,
and be
that's what I'm
this
saying. If
great
there's a-
Huntsman again. Like they
if there's a tournament
literally
this week,
something happened and they completely
saying.
just died.
if there's a tournament this week, it feels like the Rokkr are in their own tier versus like they're in a tier above the Huntsmen at this point, right? But I don't think they're in the same tier as FaZe and Empire, actually. So maybe I should have what I should do is somehow combine like this
London
tier.
Subliners, Mutineers, and
Yeah,
Huntsmen.
that's what I should do is I should combine this and then move the Rokkr into their own tier.
But to put Huntsman in the tier 3?
Tier 3,
That
baby.
seems so weird.
I mean, it's a tier 3, but they're ranked 4th, so it's like, hey. I'll do that. That kind of fun.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like what you did there, Josh. I don't know. I am stretching a little bit with the Rokkr thing, but it doesn't feel right for me to put them at tier 2.
No, yeah, I agree.
But I
Rokkr
also
feel like a
think
tier above
London
the Huntsmen.
deserves its own tier as well. So I gotta keep it this way because I can see Rokkr becoming in this
Here you
tier
go,
1
guys.
spot.
Yeah. So I think this is where I think we're at with our final power rankings here.
I don't feel 100%.
So
good
for you
about it.
audio listeners out there, Sam's got FaZe. Oh, this is gonna take a while.
Yeah.
But like basically we're split up into tiers here. My tier 1 is Empire and FaZe. Sam's is FaZe and Empire, and then Rex's Empire, FaZe, Rokkr. Tier 2, I have only the Rokkr in tier 2. Sam has the Huntsman, Rokkr, and Mutineers in tier 2. Rex has the Huntsman and Mutineers. Tier 3 is Huntsman and Mutineers for myself. Subliners and London for Sam, and London alone for Rex. Tier 4, Paris Surge for Sam, Subliners, London, Surge, and Paris for myself, Paris, Surge, and Subliners for Rex. And then our final tier 5 is the same 3 teams all around here for us. We got Guerillas, Ultra, OpTic for Sam, OpTic, Guerillas, Ultra for myself, and Guerillas OpTic Ultra for Rex to round us out there. And we'll switch back. Boom. There we are at the power rankings. Man, we got next week. We got to predict Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be a good time. We'll set up the fantasy league for next weekend as well and get that going. So I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of the Best of 3 Call of Duty Esports podcast. I feel like there was so much we could have gone over, and we didn't even go over everything today. It was like a jam-packed episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, like, comment, favorite, subscribe. We really do appreciate it. I'm Josh, SalvationsElite to my right. It's Sam Bash, Bo3 on Twitter, and Rex, ShadyNero on our farthest right of the screen if you're watching on YouTube. And guys, we will see you next time. We out.